Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I'm so happy you are joining us. It is Thursday, September 19th, 2024. And I have some fun projects that I'm pulling together for you tonight. I'm so excited to be using new products from the Stampin' Up! September through December 2024 mini catalog. And there are so many different things I want to play with. And so it's always, it's always such a, struggle to just narrow down the things I want to show you. And so I ended up landing on this amazing bundle. It's called Christmas Labels. And so we're going to use these labels tonight on all of our projects. We're going to use all 4 of them. This bundle, Christmas Labels, includes Christmas kind of sentiments, but we're not going to only make Christmas cards tonight. This has 4 different shapes, the dies that come with it. And so some of these are specifically designed to fit in the label. For example, this one, the Celebrate the Holidays in All the Ways, and the Merry Christmas to You, and the It's a Hot Cocoa kind of day, all have layouts that work well with this little label. And then some of the other ones are just designed to fit really nicely in some of these different shapes. But aren't these labels awesome? I just love all the details. So this one, for example, has these sort of inlay die cut lines that don't die cut all the way, but just sort of adds some detail to the label that I just find really fun and refreshing. Same thing here. It doesn't die cut those lines all the way. They're just sort of that added little detail. You'll have to tell me, leave a comment, let me know, did you take advantage of that free shipping yesterday? Oh my gosh, I was so happy to see that. Of course, I had some things on the wish list that I took care of. If you placed an order, let me know what you ordered. What are you excited about in this mini catalog? I had a hard time narrowing it down because there were so many things that I wanted to play with. And so as I started getting things ready, I was like, oh, I forgot I wanted to do that. So some of these I'm going to have to wait until next time. I don't know if this didn't die cut all the way or if I saw a tip recently when I was scrolling, and they were talking about using the inside of a padded mailer underneath your detail dies to get a smooth die cut. I actually have some of these die cut already. Shar was helping me out, and she die cut a whole bunch of tags. And where did that go? Oh, just when I thought I'm getting a handle on my stuff. There should be like a whole bag of them. I literally just found them today. And what did I do with them? Do you see them? Are they like right in front of me? Because that's always the case, isn't it? Oh, Nicole placed a big order. Oops. You have to, when you have a free shipping day. Sharon, you got a big order in too. That's so exciting. I'm so happy to see so many of you that placed orders and took advantage of that special. Let me know what you were excited about getting. Did you get some new designer paper? I know there's just a few items that are not available. But they will be back, like the peppermints and the shepherd's care. There were some popular things, and a couple packs of designer paper. I think the autumn, the splendid autumn, that's coming back soon. This is gonna drive me bananas. I can like visualize what they look like. And I'm trying to manifest them in front of me. Oh, they've got to be just right. Okay, well, maybe I'll try to die cut another one. I just feel like this didn't, it just didn't kind of go through all the way. And we're gonna tear it. Okay. Let's die cut again. That looks so much better. All right, so is this Christmas labels bundle, is this on your list? Do you have this one, or are you planning to order it? I think just the label dies alone are super awesome, and I'm hoping that Stampin' Up! Will come out with another greeting set that coordinates specifically with some of these shapes and labels. This one is so much better. So this is another die that has these sort of inlaid details with the die cut line. So here it is across the label, and so it doesn't go all the way across, but it's easy to snip if you want to create a layer of the same label like in another color. And there's a sample in the catalog that I think they do such a really great job with, and they did black and white, like white embossing on black, and it looks like a chalkboard, like chalkboard kind of effect right here. Isn't that cool? So they embossed the white sentiment on the black cardstock, and then they cut apart that center part of it and layered it onto another white piece. So we're just probably going to use it just as the white label today. So let's get started. I don't know where to start. I've got a fall card and 2 Christmassy cards. And let's start with the fall card, because fall comes first. Are you guys excited about the first day of fall coming this weekend? I think it's on Sunday, September 22nd. I love fall. I'm so ready for fall. And so I was really excited to get this new stamp set called Caring Leaves. And this is back here. I think I marked the page. I wanted to show you some of the colorful samples in there. I really love it with that plaid embossing folder. Gosh, is it just me? I feel like the video is very not in focus. I hope it's just me on the receiving end. I don't know what I could do differently on the filming end. Here are some swap cards that I received. This one from Don Olszewski using a pecan pie. Oh, I just love it. And then this one from Barb Mulliken, and she used the plaid embossing folder and cut it diagonally. We are really blurry. I don't know what is going on. I'm going to keep going and hope that it works itself out. I always film on my phone, and I never have that problem. So on my phone, it looks fantastic. Like when I look down through my phone, I don't see it trying to autofocus. I think that's getting better. All right. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be that kind of day. I didn't do anything, literally. But here it is. Okay. So, yes, who got this stamp set? Kim, I just ordered this stamp set on free shipping day. Yay! What I love about this stamp set is that it's only $17. I like that it's a small little stamp set, just a couple different images, and the sentiments say, "Some things never change. You are simply the best." And I think that those pair really nicely together. Like, one of the things that never changes is that you're the best. Who would you send a card to where you would say, "You're simply the best"? I was talking to Claire today. She's away at school, and she was kind of struggling with comparing herself to others and feeling like, you know, she is not doing well enough. And so I had a mom talk with her, and we talked about how your best, right, is enough, and you don't have to do somebody else's best. So when I say you're simply the best, I mean you're simply the best version of you, right? Like maybe not the best ever at whatever you're doing, but you are the best version of you, and in that way, I think you could send this to anyone, right? You're simply the best. All right. Well, I want to bring in one of these. And so I think maybe we do Some Things Never Change on the front and You're Simply the Best on the inside. So let's do both of those. And then I picked out one of the leaves, the one that looks a little more like a maple leaf. Fall is one of my favorite times of year because of the changing colors. I can't imagine living somewhere where the leaves don't change colors because I don't know what I would do. Some things never change, but in Illinois, the leaves on the trees, they definitely change. Well, as I was thinking about what I wanted to create with this stamp set, I was thinking about the changing leaves and the different colors. And so I really want to do a baby wipe technique, especially because with this two-step stamp, we have a solid image. And that's a really great kind of image to make the baby wipe technique. Have you guys heard of this before? You're using re-inkers to make your own ink pad with a baby wipe. Well, my youngest is in high school now, and sometimes I have baby wipes on hand, but I do not today. And since I decided I wanted to show you the baby wipe technique a half an hour ago, I didn't have time to go get baby wipes. So I'm using a wet paper towel. And what I think is sometimes a problem with a wet paper towel is that the texture of the towel can sometimes transfer to your image. However, this image already has some texture built into it. And so I think it's not going to be a problem for us today. But if you had a solid flat stamp, then it's possible that it may pick up the texture of the paper towel. So I got this wet. It is damp, just like a baby wipe would be. And I am using some colors, including Cajun Craze, Pumpkin Pie, and I decided to throw in some wild wheat. Actually, I pulled out crushed curry because I like that combination better. But when I pulled out ribbon that I might want to use, wild wheat was the new one that I thought I better try to use. So I decided to switch from crushed curry to wild wheat. But you can use any kind of colors. You kind of want to go in the same like warmth. Like you don't really want to put a blue in with your yellow because I feel like that just gets muddled unless you want to make green. And in that case, go for it. But I tried to choose like warm tones here. So we've got wild wheat, Cajun Craze, pumpkin pie. And so I'm going to start with the lighter color, although I don't know that it matters that much. And I'm just going to take and squeeze out some ink and dab it around on our little makeshift ink pad to create a tie-dye or multicolored ink pad. So next I'm coming in with the pumpkin pie and just dotting that ink all over, and then I'll bring in some of the Cajun Craze. I know, I think that wild wheat is so pretty for the fall. Such a good color. I know it is. I know you guys are kind of mixed on that, aren't you? But wild wheat is a really great color, and it just really depends, I think, on what you're pairing it with. I'm just suddenly having this like color inspiration of wild wheat with Night of Navy. That would be so pretty. Okay, filing that away for another video. All right, let's talk about this little baby wipe, faux baby wipe ink pad we've got here. We are going to stamp, I've cut a piece of cardstock here. We're going to stamp on this piece of cardstock. It's 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. And I also have a piece for the inside in which I'm going to stamp one leaf in the corner. So let's try it on the single cardstock first. I'm going to take that solid stamp and I'm going to just kind of tap down and make sure I get lots of ink. I'm so scared because it doesn't look like much right now, but I think and I hope and I pray That looks amazing. It's a little bit lighter than I thought. I think because we have sort of that built-in texture that there's not a lot of there is not a lot of surface area. The stamp is actually made up of like tiny little dots. And so the result is that we don't get a lot of transfer of color, but I still kind of love it. Let's get out our early espresso and we're going to use this color to do the outline. And I think that's going to kind of pull that whole thing together to look like a leaf. So maybe not as bright as I was thinking it might be, but I think it's still going to be really beautiful. For the inside, we're going to do You're Simply the Best. So pretty. And then on the front, we are going to stamp many of them, many leaves. I think that there's enough ink. I think it's really a matter of the stamp just not having the surface area, if that makes sense. I'm really gonna squish. And I'm just kind of diagonally going down, 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 and over. Changing directions and just filling in. I didn't have a great plan for this, so we're just making it up as we go. I should have tried it out, but I just ran out of time. I think I mentioned in another video, the girls are in the fall play. They're in the theater group at school. And so they have rehearsals until 6:30 every night. And so it's definitely throwing off our whole dinner schedule. Okay, that's right, we were going to use this tag, which is white, and now I'm wishing that it was a different color and not white, because we got a lot of white going on here. But I don't know, I sort of love it. And when we layer this onto some, when we layer that onto the early espresso, I think it's gonna be okay. So let's add the outlines. I'm also having this desire to emboss the early espresso cardstock with the plaid. So we might have to do that. And totally just figure it out as we go here. I do think that the outline of the leaf helps to make it look more like a leaf and less like just blobs of color. Ooh, a dauber would be a good idea. In fact, I was thinking that I could do the sponge dauber instead of the baby wipe technique. And we could try that and see what that looks like and see if it makes a difference. But I truly, truly, truly think that it's just the nature of this particular stamp being so dotted that we're just not going to get like the solid kind of color that we want. So let's try this. We are going to do this stamp in two different ways. We're going to try the sponge daubers. And then we're also going to stamp in a solid color. And so we'll experiment a wee bit. Oh, it wasn't left. There it is. Okay. So I've got a yellow, I think this is orange, and I've got Cajun. Okay. Let's get out those ink pads. Okay, so first one, let's do the sponge daubers. Actually, let's go ahead and just do it in a solid ink. Okay, so you can see it's still, it's darker because it's all a solid color, but it still has that kind of dotted look. Let's try now doing our spotted colors. And I'll stamp some of the extra ink off there. Okay, so let's start with the, I'm using crushed curry for this one because I think the pumpkin pie can be a little harsh. Okay, there I sponge daubed all over. That's got a lot of Cajun Craze in it. So it is darker. And for this card, maybe that is the technique that we want to go with, is doing the sponge dauber. We can try it. Let's just turn that over. Well, that's dirty. Let's make another one. We're cutting a new piece, 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, the tricky thing is, well, I guess if we're using the sponge daubers, we won't contaminate our ink because we're only going to put the sponge dauber, but we're going to pick it up off the stamp. You got to be careful. Okay, this is going to take a long time if we do it this way because we have so many to stamp. That is definitely darker. Well, let's do a few and see. Boop, boop, boop. Now, when you daub, you have to make sound effects. You can choose what kind of sound effects you want to make. You can make a doot doots or you can make boop boops. But if you don't make the sound effect, it just doesn't work. Okay, so just so you know, sound effects definitely help this technique. All right. Edge the white tag with a dauber to make it show up more. I like that idea, Melissa, although I don't like etching. Like, that's just a personal thing. So I like where you're going. I like the idea of having a different color, but we are going to die cut the tag in a different color, and I'll show you. We're gonna make it awesome. Okay. I think we're going to simplify this by doing slightly fewer leaves, but let's keep going. This is looking really good, I think. What do you think? Doot. Can't forget that. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All right, you guys give me some sounds and I will make them as I am as I'm doing the next leaf, okay? Give me a sound. This is a fun game. Okay. I know there's like a slight delay though, so whoop whoop. Okay, whoop whoop whoop. Oh, that was a good one. I liked that. That felt good. Oh, it feels good to laugh and be silly. Oh no, that one didn't stamp all the way. Maybe it didn't have enough color. Hold on, I guess that wasn't a good song. Boop, boop. I just tried to add a little more color in the center. And I am going to be brave and try to line it up. Oh, hey! That was really good. Okay. All right, what's next? Boop, 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 boop. Naughty, naughty, boo. Naughty, naughty, boo, boo. You guys are so funny. Beep, 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 beep. My kids probably think I'm crazy. Ba-boink, 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 ba-boink. Okay. I think we have room for like a little corner here and a corner there. Okay. Ba-boink, ba-boink. Oh, I'm so glad much you guys are laughing with me and not at me. Thank you for being here. And I think I didn't press, so we'll still have a little corner there. All right. Oh, I like that. That looks better, don't you think? We're a little heavy-handed on the Cajun Craze, but I think it was good. And why did I pick the black? Weird. Okay. Okay. Is it black for anybody else? My screen that I'm watching went black. Oh no, it just switched. Okay, I switched to another tab. And it was a different video that was ended, and that's why it was black. Okay. It's all good. You guys are still here and I'm still here. Melissa, I think you are right. So Melissa's suggesting if you stamp the whole thing in yellow first and then sponge the other colors, that you wouldn't have the kind of spaces that I ended up with. The only caution I would say is that you have to then clean your stamp well in between before you go back onto the yellow. If you're stamping many of them, you have to clean the stamp very well in between so that you don't end up with darker colors rubbing off on the stamp onto your yellow ink pad. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay. We are adding our outline stamp, which is a little difficult because there is so much ink on this stamp, but I'm kind of going with the outside edges, and so it's working okay. All right, here's the baby wipe technique with this stamp. Here is the sponge dauber technique. Definitely love the darker colors. Thank you so much for helping me through that. And oh, I was deciding whether or not we needed to redo. I think the inside's fine. We're just gonna go with it. Okay. Oh, well, we might have to change it if we decide to go a different direction with our card. All right, so we talked about changing the color here. And I love that idea, but instead of doing the sponging, I'm just gonna die cut this label in a different color, and we're going to kind of layer it together. So I'm thinking the yellow is going to be our color, although I could use, so I was originally thinking I could bring in some of this, some of the, what is it? Wild wheat. I technically didn't use the wild wheat, but I think it would still go. Let's do some Cajun Craze. Cajun Craze for our layers. So I'm going to grab a piece from my scrap buckets, and I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine. And so we've got, oh, don't tear, don't tear, don't tear. Be patient. Patience. Okay. Let's put that back. Okay, now we're going to grab our scissors. And see how it doesn't cut all the way through? We are going to make that cut and cut it all the way through. All the way around. And then we can layer the inner tag on the colored tag, and ta-da! We've got that awesome detail with a layer around our tag so that it looks complete and beautiful. This is turning out even better than I thought. Let's cut a little bit of that ribbon I'm going to use my good scissors here to cut that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so I was thinking, I guess originally this way, because that's how I stamped the inside. But proportion wise, I think we've got to go, horizontally, right? Don't you think? Penny says, what do you use for scrap bucket? I never know what to do with mine. You guys want to see it? I don't know if it's going to fit on camera. I have a plastic bin. Okay, this is definitely not going to fit, but I'm going to try. Okay. I have this plastic bucket, and as you can see, I have I have it organized like by color family. So within the color family, I just have it kind of like in the rainbow order or whatever. So I've got like the reds together, the greens together, and so this just sits underneath my desk. And I will be honest, when I am done with a scrap, like for example this, I'll just toss it on my floor, and then once a week or so I organize it and I file it back into the bucket. Sometimes I do it every time I'm done. It just depends on how many scraps, but I just make a little pile near the bucket and then I go through and I file it back into the bucket. But it's really great because it is right literally at my fingertips. Like I can reach down and I can pull it out and quickly find the color that I'm looking for a scrap such as this. And then I can pull it out and I can use it to punch or to die cut. And then on the other side, on the floor under my desk, I have a box of card size pieces. And so when I cut my card bases in half, I have, I put the other half in here, and again, I just have a pile I need to file, but I file them in. And so when I'm making a card, I just go and look for an old olive one. Actually, that was Mossy Meadow. I just go and look for the color that I'm looking for before I cut a new piece of cardstock. Clearly, I don't always do that because then I wouldn't have so many card fronts. But anyway, that's where we're at. So I have the card size in a box on one side, and I have the scraps in a box on the other side. And so I love that everything is just at my fingertips. Tony says she has a hanging folder files by color family in alphabetical order. And she says, I have a folder for all the major 40 colors and then a separate folder bin for the basic colors and the in colors. I have one of those file drawers over there too. It's two drawers, and they're stuffed full and they are out of reach. And so I never take the couple steps over to get the pieces I need. And that's when the scrap bucket was born, because it's just at my fingertips. So whatever you'd use, I think the key is having it handy, having it near you, having it accessible. And so someday when my room is clean, I'll do like a little craft tour, craft room tour, and show you. But my desk, I sit between a shelf and my desk, and so I can turn around, and on the top of that shelf are all my ink pads, are all my punches. Right underneath on one of the bottom shelves is a box with all of my dies and embossing folders, and so everything is just within a chair rotation of my desk. And so it makes it really easy to just reach down and grab what I need. And so that makes it easy to craft. I drifted off in my thought. But yes, I hope that however you have your space set up, that you have the ability to kind of put things at at arm's reach, the things that you use the most. And I think when you are setting up your space, you kind of have to consider what are the things that you reach for and use the most, right? Like you probably have ink pad in a very handy place because that's probably something that you use the most, is different colors of ink. Now my stamps are in a cabinet that are just on the other side of the room because I don't necessarily need to grab them. I pull out the stamps that I want to use, and then I sit down at my desk and I use those stamps, and everything else is right around me. So I have the embellishments. The embellishments are in a box behind me. My cardstock, my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So if I need to grab a new sheet, that's all directly behind me on the shelf right below the ink pads and the punches. I'm just re-stamping this as we're chatting because I want to make that card to be a horizontal card. All right, Sherry says my room is a hot mess right now. Mine is too. That's why we're not doing a craft tour. It's pretty much always a hot mess, and there's just lots of stuff piled around me, surrounding me with all this creative awesomeness. And then I also have piles of other things on my floor that you wouldn't necessarily have on your floor, because I have kits to ship and, you know, prizes to send to my team members and, you know, that kind of stuff. That's just sort of a constant. It's such a mess. So that's the kind of mess that takes up most of my space. I try to be organized with my actual supplies, but you wouldn't know it. Shout out to Margot if you are watching right now, Margot. She walked into my room. She walked into my house today and she was like, "Whoa, I can see the floor in the front room." It has kind of turned into, we call it the reading room because it's got a piano and it's got a couch in there, and it's sort of like a living room. We call it the reading room because the kids used to go and sit and read in there. And, but she walked in and it is, often the staging area. So like the girls like have their backpacks in there, the instruments sometimes when they bring them home. And, we had some of Claire's stuff in there as we were getting ready to pack her. And there were some, boxes that were kind of around and things that are needing to leave the house to be donated kind of stuff. And so I have actually, oh my gosh, do you see what I just did? Look at that. Oh. Where did that even come from? Okay, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get out my ink eraser, my sand eraser, see if we can take care of that. But I actually have been working on clearing that space, and so I was happy that she noticed. But it is often a mess. I don't know. I don't feel bad about a messy house. I live here. My kids live here, and we prioritize other things over cleaning. We prioritize spending time together. I often prioritize crafting, and as a family we prioritize gaming. We like to play games together. So I don't feel bad that the house is messy, and I don't have people over a lot, so it's just us, and we don't care that it's messy. I'm going to use this sand eraser. This is from Tombow, and essentially the sand eraser like grinds down the fibers of the cardstock to get rid of the ink, and it works pretty well if you have a small spot. Not too bad, but it does leave like a little texture there, so just beware of that. All right. Penny says she doesn't just stamp. What other hobbies do you have that takes up your crafting space? Because I know for many of you, stamping is not the only thing that you do. Do you guys sew? Do you quilt? Do you knit or crochet? I love crafting, but I don't get to do a lot of other crafts. So the majority of my crafting space is stamping, but the girls have a dedicated they have a dedicated craft corner, and they do all kinds of crafts in their area. So they've got lots of things. Hi, Margot. Using Stampin' Dimensionals to add this layer. I'm using some Stampin' Dimensionals to add the tag layer. Oh my gosh, this is like everything that I love about fall, all in one card. But you know what Mom would say? It needs some bling. Okay, let's see what kind of bling we have. This is it right here, the faux glass dots, you guys. These are so pretty. I love them because they're all my favorite fall colors. We've got some pumpkin pie. We've got some crushed curry wild wheat, some old olive, and some Cajun Craze. I don't know. Should we use yellow or should we use the Cajun Craze? Which color would you use on this card? I was reaching for the Cajun Craze, but the label is Cajun Craze, and so on second thought, I'm thinking maybe some of that yellow would be good to bring in. I think I like the yellow. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do 3. Oh, I really love it. Oh, Penny says vinyl. I'd love to see all your hobbies. Cricut, paper crafts. Oh, I see the typo now. Let's see who said Carol knits while she watches TV. My, well, Thomas's girlfriend, she loves to knit. And Claire is really getting into crochet. She's making some really amazing things. Melissa says knit, crochet, cross stitch, home decor. Fonda fabric. Her wife plays with fabric and she loves paper in the same room. I love it. I love that you guys can craft together even though you do different things. Leanne scrapbooks. Sharon makes amazing 3D projects. She does amazing things with paper. It's so awesome. And Margot, I don't think that it is clean always, but you're so kind to to lie for me. Okay, what do you guys think? Yes, 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 you love it. Oh, I'm so glad. All right, this is our first card. We're gonna move on to some Christmas, but tonight we're using the Christmas labels bundle with, I just really love these shapes. And so we are not using a Christmas sentiment, but we used the label shape here with the caring leaves to create our card. And I die cut it twice with the Cajun Craze and basic white. So let's see what else we can do with the Christmas labels bundle. Move some of our things out of the way. Actually, most of it is out of camera, so that's good. All right, the next card is one that was inspired by a birthday card that I received. And this card came from Jill Steele. And I think she said she copied somebody. Let me look and see. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I don't remember that, but she used a retired hydrangea paper, and this has just caught my eye. I just thought this was so clever to use some designer paper and kind of fold it so you can see both sides. And I attempted to do this with the 2 Market designer paper, and I never finished it. I was going to do something on the inside and I never did, but I thought I would try it again with some new designer paper. And so I am using a bit of paper from the Penguin paper, the Snowy Days. Here it is. I've got some of my scraps. And it has really great colors, which I think is so interesting because we've got pumpkin pie and petal pink in here with the snow and the Christmas and the yellow. And it is just such interesting paper. the Snowy Wonder, Snowy Scenes. Marco, you know the name of this one. And it's got the images of the little snow globes that you can cut out. Now, earlier today, I was working on a card and I wanted to use some different colors. And so I used those orange trees to create this card. And I really like the way that that one turned out. But the pattern that I chose for this card is the one with the holly and the stripes, which is really more traditional with the red and the green. But this is the paper pack that it came from. So I have copied the measurements that Jill used on her card. So this is 4 inches by 6 inches. And then I scored it at 3 1/4. So it is just a little bit more than half, 3 1/4. And then what Jill did was she tore the edge of her designer paper. And that is a little more than I wanted to tear. But the designer paper is printed, and where as opposed to our cardstock, which is dyed. And so when the cardstock, when you tear the middle, it is the same color because it is dyed all the way through. But the paper and our new two-toned cardstock, the color is printed on the paper or on the cardstock. And so when you tear it, you're still going to have a white center, just like you do with the designer paper. Okay, so for our card, I have a little piece that is 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. And I am going to layer this onto Pool Party. And at first I thought, oh, I should layer it onto Poppy Parade, which would look like this. But I kind of found it refreshing to do the blue instead. I think there's a beautiful contrast with the Pool Party than that you don't get with the Poppy Parade. So which would you use? Pool Party, Poppy Parade? You can leave a comment, let me know. I'm going to stick with the Pool Party on this. And then I also die cut some holly and some berries. And this came from the Reindeer Days, Reindeer Fun. And I thought it was kind of funny that the penguin paper had the holly paper, but the reindeer had the holly berries dies, but that's all right. We're going to mix and match here. And so these layer on each other, and this is going to go on the inside. And I thought I would use two of these dies, one on the front, maybe the big one, I like that, and then the other one on the inside. Maybe that one, or maybe this one. Let's pick out our greetings. We are going to use the Christmas labels for this one. And I kind of like to save this one, I'm thinking, because I want to use that for our next card. So let's try to use these two. And so we've got this shape for the front. So we can do, oh, I love that. Hope your season is filled with magic. And then it kind of coordinates with, coordinate with each other as far as the fonts go. And so the font that coordinates here is Warm and Cozy, Sweet as a Sugar Plum Candy, Peace on Earth, and To You. Not Peace on Earth. Warm and Cozy, To You, Sweet as Sugar Plum Candy. But I need to use one that goes here. So maybe that Merry Christmas to You on the inside with Love and Joy on the outside. Let's do those two. Okay, Merry Christmas to you, Love and Joy. And uh-oh, now we have to decide on colors. For the front, Love and Joy I'm thinking red because we have the green layer. So let's bring in the red again. And then for the inside, the red stripes are kind of a lot. So let's do the green. Let's do that. So Garden Green and Poppy Parade. What colors do you like to craft with for the holidays? Do you kind of gravitate? Red for the front, okay. Do you have red and green, shades of red and green that you prefer? Do you like to use alternative colors like navy and gold and crumb cake? Leave a comment, let me know your favorite holiday crafting combination. My go-to is probably like cherry cobbler and cherry cobbler shaded spruce. Yeah, I love those two colors together. But often I am inspired by designer paper. So that's how I chose this one, is the designer paper. I think I was behind on your comments a little bit. Yes, I was. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden, all of the comments just, I don't know where I was. I like was somehow stuck toward the top and I scrolled down and saw a whole bunch. Okay, on the inside, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Ooh, that is, oh, just not to you and yours, just to you. But, and yours too. Merry Christmas to all of you. And all of yours. Okay, let's do this first. And since this is going underneath, I am just using regular adhesive. Kind of wishing I had not torn so much from the front, but we're still falling underneath where we need to. Okay, regular adhesive to stick the designer paper down, and overkill because I like it. This is going to go centered on the green. Love and Joy. Oh, it's so fun. I'm going to use dimensionals under this layer. This one is going so fast. Oh, which is good since our first card took so long. I want to make sure we don't have any adhesive sticking here so that it doesn't close our card. But I think this one, since there's not like any room to write, I brought in a full card, whereas Jill's card just had a card base, room to write here. So that worked out okay. But I did bring in the full card, and I think what I would do, I'll bring in a piece and we'll do it together, is just add a little designer paper to the white cardstock. I'm going to put on this layer with some Stampin' Dimensionals. My threshold is like 2 layers of Stampin' Dimensionals. I try not to do more than that, more than 2. And since I just have 1 right here, I'll do 1 more under there. Oh, I like that. We probably need some bling though, right? Tell me what kind of bling. I'm gonna do a little strip of this designer paper onto the white. It is 4 by 5 1/4. And so I'll just do like a little 1-inch strip here, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And there are so many great sentiments. I could probably stamp another sentiment from this Christmas labels and add that to the inside. Let's take a look. We have Merry Christmas to you and yours, love and joy. You could use any of them. How about hope your season is filled with magic? And would you do that in red or green? I feel like you could go either way. I'm leaning towards the red. Fonda says red. Good. I don't know where everybody else is on that, but we're going with red. Yes, that was the right choice. Oh, that looks good on the inside. Oh, I like this card too. 2 for 2. We are on a roll tonight, but we need some bling, right? Maybe some bling on here. What happened to those gems? Those aren't garden green though. We really need some garden green. I think I know a package that has garden green. This one. This is, it coordinates with the Nest of Winter, but I think we got the right kind of green in there. And so, man, I want to put them, maybe the little ones, like right here, where there's a dot, and right there. Does that look okay? I don't know. It doesn't look right. It needs a third one, but I don't know where. Maybe we'll leave the bling off of this one. Because I don't know where to put it. There's not a lot of room here. We could do 1, 2, 3. Maybe then we would need these white ones. But they get lost in the designer paper because the designer paper is so busy. It's like they're almost there. Or not there. I'm going to take them off. I think you don't need them because the designer paper is so busy. I think they get lost. Now, of course, when you're making your card at home, if you want to bling it up, it's never wrong to add bling. But here's my version of this card. Love and joy. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Hope your season is filled with magic. We really showcased the Christmas labels stamp set and the coordinating dies on this one because we used 2 of them. But I want to use the 4th one on a 3rd card. And so our last little label right here. And I want to bring in some designer paper. I love this paper. It is called Sentimental Christmas. And it is the Making a Difference designer paper this year. So when you purchase the Sentimental Christmas designer paper, you get, well, you don't get, Stampin' Up! Donates $3 towards a children's literacy what's the word I'm looking for? Charity. There's a different organization in each market because Stampin' Up! Is worldwide. We are in Europe and the South Pacific and also North America. And so I don't know how many different organizations that they are donating to, but I know that it is, there are multiple organizations depending on your country or market that you're in. So that's really exciting. And this paper is so beautiful. It has this classic Christmas feel to it. I've been playing a lot with it for vacation stamping school, and I'm so excited to be filming my project video for our big event that's happening next weekend. This designer paper is 12 by 12 and it's got some classic Christmas colors like the red and green, but also we have some non-traditional colors in there like pretty peacock and some pecan pie with the deer. Isn't this just fun? Oh, I was going to use this paper for another project and got sidetracked. Our candles here. Love the trees, love the stripes, love the bouquets of berries and holly. And this one is probably my favorite pattern. I just really am digging the colors. We've got Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, and Pretty Peacock. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes. I love it. Melissa says she's got this paper coming with her free shipping order. I'm so excited to hear that. I shared some projects, and I'll show you again really quick with this designer paper that I created. I had a lot of fun casing the catalog, and so I did. All these cards were based on a project in the catalog. I almost showed you my vacation stamping school project. That would not have been good. But I wanted to kind of show you this one in particular because there is a paper pattern in this paper pack. This was one of them, although it's not quite the same as this one that is designed to be cut up into card fronts. And so I kind of wanted to show you how to use that paper to do that. And so I brought in the larger 12 by 12 sheet to show you. You can see it's got a border all the way around. This is so perfect for scrapbooking because you can use it to frame the whole page. But if you're a card maker, strategically cutting your designer paper will let you make a lot of card fronts with this amazing paper and really take advantage of all of it. Now I'm going to grab really quick and see. I was going to see if I have that other pattern. Mine might all be cut up. Here it is. On the back of the candles is another large 12 by 12 pattern. And this one is kind of cut up a little bit. It's not exactly the same where it's the same frame all the way around. There's a lantern in one corner and these trees in another. And so the card that I made here utilizes the corner of the card, and so you could kind of cut this apart in the same way and create a card like this, but I wanted to show you how to cut this paper pattern because you can get 6 different card fronts from this pack of or this one sheet of paper, and this is inspired by the catalog. So let me open that up and show you really quick. This is the September through December 2024 Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. And right here you can see they've got this this pile of cards, this stack of cards. And so that is the project that inspired this one. But I wanted to make a card with that designer paper. So let's get our paper trimmer out. We're going to talk about how to cut this paper to really make the most of it. We are using the Stampin' Up! Paper cutter. And we're going to start first by cutting. Oh, scary. What do we want to do? 6. We'll cut the 6-inch first. So we're going to cut at 6 inches. We're cutting the paper in half like that. And so when you turn it, you'll see that they are exactly the same. And in fact, we could probably cut both of them at the same time. So let's cut them together. I'm going to cut this now. It's 12 inches, and I'm going to cut it into 3 4-inch by 6-inch pieces. And actually a card front is 5.5 inches. And so I'm going to cut this down to fit in a card front. I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4. So I'm going to take them both together and bring it down to 5 1/4. And now when I cut it into 4 inches, it will fit on a card. So we've got these little strips of paper that you can use for something else. If it were me, I would probably cut them at 5 1/4 again and use the little strips on the inside of my card. So I'm going to set that aside to do that later. Now we've got our pieces. There's 2 of them here, and now they are 5 1/4 by 12 inches. And so we're going to cut these together, and we're going to cut at 4 inches. And so we're going to cut 6 card fronts out of this one piece. And there are other designs in the designer paper that are like this, with a big frame all the way around, or with the pieces that have like one side and then the opposite side that has designs. Okay, but now we've got these pieces and they are perfect for card fronts, and it's simply layering onto your card base and creating a very simple card. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to take one of these and we are going to create a card. Of course, you could do 6 of these because we've got 6 card fronts. I had a card base earlier and I showed it to you with the not cherry cobbler, Poppy Parade. And what did I do with it? Where did it go? Let's just grab the second one. All right, let's pick one. They layer so well on here, and in the catalog, I think they layered onto a lighter color, like basic beige. I really like bringing out the red and the berries. I think it really pops. So we're going to do that. And we've got one more of those die cut labels, which was also somewhere nearby. Where did that go? Oh, you guys. It was just right here, remember? Is it sticking to the bottom of the paper cutter? Nope. Is it sticking to the bottom of the catalog? Nope. The adhesive? The samples? Wait, we just had it. Is it on the floor? This is the night of losing things. Okay, well, we're just going to die cut another one. This is the shape that we haven't used yet, so I'm going to use that one to die cut a quick label. This is the coordinating stamp set Sentimental Wishes, and I was just grabbing it to see if there were any sentiments that would fit in this label. And the wishing you joy and happiness is pretty close. I think that will work. But you could also just use the Christmas labels. In fact, I think I will use the Christmas labels because I can see through those stamps and line it up a lot better. So we've got some options here. Warm and cozy, peace on earth, be merry, to you, believe. I kind of love, we got candy canes. I kind of love warm and cozy. Let's do that one. And then we can use the same one for the inside that we did on the other card. Now this suite has shaded spruce ribbon. Isn't this pretty? It's not quite the same green that's in here, which I'm sort of befuddled by. I'd really love to have a ribbon that is more old olive, but we can make this work. And I also want to bring in a splash of another designer paper. And so I think if we're going to use the shaded spruce, then we can bring in a little bit of this, and that kind of brings in the color of the ribbon. So let's cut a piece of that designer paper, grabbing from my scraps. We'll cut a little bit off of this. I think because we're going to have shaded spruce ribbon, then I kind of want to have red for the greeting to bring that color in again. Oh, I'm seeing your you are having some ideas about the words. Be merry, celebrate the season. Now I want red ribbon. Do we have any red ribbon? Or some white ribbon? Be merry, celebrate. We could do be merry. You know, like, I like warm and cozy. Let's stick with that one. Does it fit? That's a good question. I got up to take a look at our other options for ribbon. This one includes petal pink and white, and I kind of like the stripes on this one. I think it goes well with the candy cane stripes. There's also this ribbon, which is the one that I used on my original sample. And this is a silver with an organdy kind of base to it. I'm liking the white. Because I feel like that is too much green. Maybe instead, okay, I know what you're saying. Instead of the green paper, let's bring in the red striped paper. Yeah, okay. All right, we can do that. I'm agreeable. Before we lose the die, let's put that back. We're gonna cut a piece. This is 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. And we're bringing in the red. We'll have our little green. Let's grab a piece for the inside. Bring in our piece of designer paper. This was that leftover strip. For the inside. Okay, so move that ribbon out of the way. Bring in the red. We're going to, I think warm and cozy fits. Warm and cozy for the front. For the inside, hope your season is filled with magic. Bringing in some of this awesome ribbon. Just a straight piece of it. Yes. And we're going to bring in some of the Drucy, am I saying that right? Drucy gems. These big, beautiful, gorgeous, vintagey looking gems. Let's get this glued down. Quick and easy card fronts with this amazing designer paper pattern. You can make 6 cards with that one designer paper. Oh, I see what you guys are saying. The warm and cozy is kind of slanted. Which one would it go with? I guess it's supposed to be with that slant. I don't know. I think it looks all right. Go in here on the inside. I like that little bit of strip of paper that coordinates. I'm going to do a little adhesive on the designer paper and slightly tilt our ribbon across it. And we're going to do some Stampin' Dimensionals, 2 of them, 2 layers, that's our max. We're going to go under the label. And we're going to go under the paper as well. So this is actually going to need like a double layer. Right up here in the corner. I love the pop of the red stripe. And since we've got some cool colors in the background here, I'm going to use this, the lighter color. Oh, it's so pretty. It's warm and cozy, isn't it? Okay, so here is the sample, kind of cased from the catalog. And in the catalog, they just used a strip of paper for the sentiment. Let's look at this again and see. I actually like it turned around the other way and then having the sentiment fill in. I would move that down just a smidge. I kind of like mine better. Yeah, I really like the red. This is beige, I think, in the background, and that color is not strong enough for the card base. And then again, like I said, I just like it switched around there. So here's one version using the Christmas labels to add kind of that fun, detailed edge around the sentiment. Here is the other version that I did with the same designer paper, the Sentimental Christmas. And just a different pattern there. So give me a this or that. Which of these versions do you prefer? Do you like the traditional red and green, or do you like that pretty pecan pie? Leave a comment, let me know this or that on this designer paper card. Oh, you guys are all saying that. Let's see, Sandy has a question. Did you rub the oil from the newness of the stamp? You know, I usually don't do that. I know sometimes people have problems with the stamp. There wouldn't be any oil on the photopolymer stamps. I've actually seen how they manufacture that, and it is there's like this this layer, this like long piece of glass, I guess it would be, and they lay down this template, and it's like kind of like a film, like a window sheet, and it has the pattern of the stamps on it. And then what they do is they lay this liquid polymer and it's spread across the sheet, and then they lay like this other piece over it, and then like another piece of like window sheet kind of thing. And then they close the lid, and they turn on this special light, and the photopolymer is light sensitive, and so the light then processes the photopolymer and it becomes hard in the shape of the stamp. And so after they do that, the light, then they tilt the whole thing up, and all the extra all the extra liquid polymer then runs down. It's reclaimed and mixed with new and reused on another batch. Then they take that, and after all of that polymer drains, it goes into a water bath. And it's sort of like these long sheets of stamps are like dipped down into the water bath. There might be some other, there's a water bath, and then there's another, I think there might be another bath that kind of essentially cleans the photo or the extra like polymer and stuff off. But then it goes in the water bath, and it is hung to dry, and it, you know, it drips dry. And then after that, they inspect it to look for abnormalities. And after that, then they cut it into sheets of stamps that we get in the set. So there wouldn't be any oil, although sometimes I think there can be a residue. The oil might come from some of the machinery with the rubber. Although again, like I don't remember any rubber. I don't like remember any oil there either. They take sheets of rubber and they bake it in these it's sort of like a pan, I guess. It's a plate that has the indentation of the stamp image. What do they call it? Something plate. And then they bake it, and the rubber bakes into the sheet, and then it's all floppy. And then they adhere that to a foam piece, and they have a die cutting machine. That's so cool. They die cut, and all these things are like large sheets that have like, I don't know, 12 different stamp sets on it. Mold. I think that well, it's really, it's a flat plate. It's not necessarily like a mold, but it acts in the same way. Anyway, long story short, I'm probably not even describing it very, very well. But I do know some people find that there can be a residue. And so cleaning your stamps before you stamp with them can help. But I don't ever really notice that. I don't usually wipe my stamps before I use them. I do notice the residue a lot of times on a new punch. Anyway, I really got sidetracked there. There are videos and photographs of the process that Stampin' Up! Does to do these. I know on my Facebook page, gosh, a long time ago, probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I shared photos when I got to tour the facility. The last time I toured the facility, they did not allow photos. And Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin' Up!, has done videos where she's kind of shown that process. So if you're interested in checking that out, definitely a fun thing to look at. All right, you guys are cheaters. I see you. Christine and Janice, you can't say this and that. You have to choose. I'm just kidding. You don't have to choose. You can make both. It looks like a lot of you prefer that with the red and green. A few, I love them both too. I mean, you can't go wrong. How about some mail call before we wrap up this extra long video? If you're just joining us tonight, I made 3 cards, and the thing that tied all our cards together was the Christmas labels stamp set and die bundle. So this is a brand new bundle in the mini catalog. If you don't have it yet, add it to your list. It is a fun one. I love the label shapes just on their own, and then the sentiments that fit in it are really great too. So we created this one with the Sentimental Wishes designer paper, Sentimental Christmas. We also made this one using a piece of the Snowy Wonder designer paper and the sentiments from the Christmas labels. And then we started with the long card using the Changing Leaves stamp set, and we did some sponge daubers on the leaf to get the different colors. But this die came from the Christmas label set, and we die cut it twice in 2 different colors to get kind of the 2 different tones there. So we had some fun tonight. I hope that you enjoyed the cards that we made. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos like Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, Thursday Night Stamp Therapy, the Great Big Card Swap. We have all kinds of fun on this channel. And I'm so glad you guys all joined me tonight. Okay, before we go, I do have some mail call. I have a few cards I wanted to share with you, so let me scoot that out of the way and grab my stack. They're right in front of me here. Not a lot of cards this time, but a few to share. I received this fun one from Meg Loven. She was sending me something for vacation stamping school. She used some of the, what's it called? Full of Life designer paper, 6x6 pack from the annual catalog, and the Changing Leaves hybrid embossing folder bundle from the online exclusives. I think that is coming in the next week or so, so stay tuned for that. And it's kind of a fun little fold, and I love that it has like a little pocket, so she used that designer paper on this gatefold card. The next card comes from Michelle Mullen. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Some of my favorite colors, petal pink, calypso coral, and I just love this large flower, and of course the bow wow punch. The bow punch, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your thoughtful note. It really made my day. It made me so happy to know that you are enjoying my videos, and especially the Great Big Card Swap. I have so much fun sharing all of your cards in those videos, and so I'm glad that you're enjoying them too. The next card is from my upline, Kim Peck, and she used that same Full of Life designer paper with the butterfly accent, the laser accents. Those are so fun to make a quick card. Your friendship is the best gift. What a perfect message. Thank you, Kim, for your card and your little gift inside as well. Speaking of gifts, I got this fun card from Chris Anderson, who gave me a little gift for fall. This is one of our card kits from the Kits collection, and I love the little rainbow colored laser cut. So delicate. There's also some butterflies in this kit. It's really a great one. So check out the Kits collection if you haven't in a while. This is one of the first kits from the Kits collection. It's still available in there. The rest of the cards are extra cards I got from the Great Big Card Swap. So thank you to everyone who sent doubles. This one from Pat Stewart. Our theme this month is masculine, and we'll be doing our second Great Big Card Swap showcase on Tuesday, September 24th. So next week on Tuesday. This one was from our monochromatic theme from Ann Telecki, using Peach Pie. Love that with the sponging on there and the glitter paper as well. What a great way to color block that designer paper. And the last card is from Chris Almond, who sent this one with a great little tag that can be customized. She sent some different greetings embossed there in gold. Isn't this just beautiful? I love this. A window sheet card base with the tag, and you can see that pattern from the front. Love that. Just absolutely gorgeous. Thank you again to everyone who sent in cards and who sent me a card. That is your challenge for you this week. Please take an envelope right now, and whoever you are thinking about as we are wrapping up this video, I want you to write their name on the envelope and send them a card in the next week. That's your assignment, and I'm going to check in with you next Thursday to make sure that you did your assignment and sent a card to a family or friend, because I know how much it makes my day to receive a handmade card in the mail, and I hope that you guys do too. And I hope that you will continue sharing the cards that you're making with your family and friends. Next Thursday night, on Thursday, September 26th, we are going to be making cards with a Splendid Autumn suite, because that is the suite I am featuring in this month's project kit. When you order $40 or more, you can get that project kit for September for free. That's before tax and shipping. Many of you met that yesterday with the free shipping. Thank you to everyone who ordered. And I'll be sharing those projects that are coming out in the September kit next week on Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. So I hope that you will join me then. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for watching the replay. I love you all so much, and I'm so happy that you're part of my stamping community. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.